December 3rd, late night in South Korea. As Seoul, one of the world's busiest cities, settled into winter slumber. Those who were still awake received shocking news.
저는 북한 공산 세력의 위협으로부터 자유 대한민국을 수호하고 우리 국민의 자유와 행복을 약탈하고 있는 파렴치한 종북 반국가 세력들을 일거에 척결하고 자유 헌정 질서를 지키기 위해 비상계엄을 선포합니다.
At 10:23 p.m., South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law. For the next 6 hours, the country was under de facto military rule.
무력 군인의 국회 난이 계엄 선포가 있었다는 거니까 굉장히 충격적이었고.
He repeatedly say he's protecting the liberal democracy, but to protect democracy, he chose to have authoritarian way.
I'm quoting a conservative journalist who wrote that this incident is the most unwisest political suicide in Korea's modern political history.
What is the story behind the president's drastic move and the 2 tumultuous weeks that followed? On the evening of December 3rd, Assemblyman Kim Jun-hyung had just wrapped up filming at a Korean TV station. Then he got wind of some incredible news.
I got called from my assistant in the office, and I heard shocking news that President declared martial law. Nobody believed, especially rational people, including me, didn't believe. So it's much unanticipated and a surprise news.
According to South Korea's constitution, the president can declare martial law during war, armed conflict, or a similar national emergency.
After that announcement, it caused immediate consternation that perhaps there is some intelligence about a security threat, presumably from North Korea, that the public was unaware of. As really the minutes went by, it became more and more clear that such a threat did not exist. And so people began to think that there really is not that kind of problem that Yoon had claimed.
So one thing just jumped into my mind is the president might block National Assemblyman. So I just ran into the National Assembly.
Within the hour, politicians and protesters gathered outside the National Assembly, South Korea's parliament. An Gi-ryong from the main opposition Democratic Party was among them.
제가 알기로는 더불어민주당 이재명 대표께서 대통령의 비상계엄 선포가 있은 다음에 유튜브 라이브를 통해서 국회로 가고 있다.
국민 여러분, 국회로 와주십시오. 무너지는 민주주의 여러분이 함께 나서 지켜주십시오.
The National Assembly legislators responded right away. They rushed to the legislature and initiated a vote to oppose the martial law.
The Constitution states that martial law must be lifted if a majority of South Korea's 300-seat parliament votes to do so. But at the National Assembly, lawmakers would find their way barred.
Police were deployed and then blocked the main gate. So I just got off car and just tried to get in, but they blocked me in. Some wrestled. And I, physical contact, and I yelled at them, "You cannot block me."
At 11:28 p.m., the military reportedly issued a 6-point decree restricting political activity and the press. Defying the president and military, lawmakers found ways to enter the National Assembly building. Some, like opposition leader Lee Jae-myung, by jumping the fence. By midnight, over 150 lawmakers had gathered inside.
I got in after 20-30 minutes of wrestling.
Around this time, special forces also arrived at the National Assembly building.
If martial law had been imposed, President and the martial commander would have had unchecked power, and they would have been able to dissolve any political congregations or arrest political opponents as they see fit. And they would have had near total control of the society.
Soldiers entered through broken windows, attempting to lock Parliament down.
한쪽에서 그렇게 이제 수많은 사람들이 몸으로 계엄군을 막고 있었고요. 막는 와중에 뭐 계엄군이 제 팔을 잡기도 하고요, 밀쳐내기도 하고, 저도 이제 밀려나지 않기 위해서 이렇게 뭐 몸도 잡고 총도 잡고 그렇게 됐던 것 같습니다. 부끄럽지도 않냐고! 그리고 무서웠죠. 공포감은 국회에 도착해서 헬기 소리를 들을 때부터 쭉 엄습해 있었습니다. 그런데 그 순간에는 일단 막아야 된다. 이 계엄군들이 국회 본청 안으로 들어가면 국회의원들의 계엄 해제 관련 표결을 막을 것이고, 그러면 계엄 해제를 못하고.
Inside, 190 parliamentarians eventually made their way into chambers. They barred the doors to prevent soldiers from entering. A plenary session was hastily called as lawmakers rushed to vote on lifting martial law.
We are so scared. I'm scared. Even I imagined what if they just break in and shoot or arrest us. So we were really in a shock, at the same time, fearful, at the same time, determination to pass the law before we got arrested or something. So we were so impatient, and we yelled, we asked, Speaker of the National Assembly to do fast.
There was cause for their trepidation. South Korea had been here before, some 45 years ago, when martial law was last declared in the country.
October 1979, then President Park Chung-hee was assassinated by his lieutenants, and that led to the declaration of martial law. But that only resulted in partial martial law because the acting president left out the island of Jeju. But what happened afterwards was that a group of military officers took the opportunity to seize power through a military coup, and the supreme commander of that faction, Chun Do-hwan, declared the martial law, which would include the entirety of the peninsula. So that was how the last martial law was declared in 1980.
University professor Yang Sang-woo was just entering adulthood then.
제가 경험한 80년대는 저의 경우 80년대 초와 80년대 중후반까지 고등학생, 대학생이었는데 그 시절을 보냈는데 당시 한국은 군사 독재 정권이 있었을 시절입니다. 그래서 그러면 첫 번째로 가장 중요한 것이 표현의 자유가 억압당하는 겁니다. 결사의 자유도 억압당하는 겁니다. 표현의 자유라는 건 내가 하고 싶은 말을 할 수 없는 거고 내가 보고 싶은 것을 볼 수 없는 겁니다. 함부로 봐서 절대 안 되고 남한테 전할 수도 없죠.
Under military rule, the army cracked down on dissenters, including a particularly bloody episode known as the Gwangju Uprising on May 18, 1980. Student and citizen protesters were violently crushed in the city of Gwangju. Official estimates say around 200 people were killed. Some scholars put the death toll closer to 2,000. The military dictatorship said it was quelling riots instigated by communists.
희생은 엄청난 그 뒤로도 수많은 사람들이 집회 시위 과정에서 독재 정권, 정치적 자유를 독재 정권의 퇴진을 요구하고 정치적 자유를 요구하다가 잡혀서 고문도 받고 감옥에도 갇히고.
Professor Young himself would be arrested for student activism. He was pardoned after dictatorship ended in 1987.
지금까지 한국인들은 군부를 동원한 통치, 비상계엄, 1980년대에 전두환, 노태우라고 하는 군부 세력이 한국의 민주주의를 짓밟았던 그런 일이 또다시 일어날 것이라고는 아무도 생각하지 않았을 것 같아요.
In the present, by blaming communists, President Yoon's justifications for martial law resembled the military's rhetoric some 45 years ago.
This is a land that was divided because of the Cold War. The South run by capitalist and democratic principles under the sponsorship of the United States, and North Korea was created under the ideology of communism, largely sponsored at the time by the Soviet Union. So this has been going on since 1948, so it's no great surprise that anti-communism is always the name of the day, but it's quite surprising to hear it in 2024.
At around 1 a.m., the verdict was in. In a unanimous vote of 190 to 0, South Korean lawmakers choose to lift martial law.
국회의 의결에 따라 대통령은 즉시 비상계엄을 해제해야 합니다.
Then it became a waiting game. After all, there was no guarantee that the president would comply.
If we follow the Constitution, then he has no right to pursue martial law once the National Assembly has refuted it.
If, this martial law had not been lifted, then I don't want to imagine the result.
Finally, around 4:30 a.m. on the 4th, President Yoon capitulated.
국회의 계엄 해제 요구가 있어 계엄 사무에 투입된 군을 철수시켰습니다.
As suddenly as it had begun, martial law in South Korea was over.
When the martial law was lifted, I felt a sense of great relief that the president and his team didn't double down. Because there was that moment that a Trump would have doubled down. They would have kept to their guns. But they didn't. And there was a sense of relief that, yes, you might have made a stupid decision, but at least you've not made two stupid decisions. You've let this go.
Martial law lasted just 6 hours. Troops began returning to their barracks.
저희들은 사실 저는 이 외신들이 한국이 불과 1시간, 2시간 만에 계엄을 해제하는 그 대단함을 보였다라고 외신들이 보도를 하는데 저는 좀 창피합니다.
By daybreak, a sense of calm returned to Seoul. But one question would be on everyone's minds.
Why was the martial law enacted in the first place? Why in 2024 did a sitting South Korean president believe it's necessary to enact martial law, and in doing so suggest that freedoms were going to be taken away from media, from regular citizens, from democratically elected lawmakers?
December 6th, 2 days after martial law was lifted in South Korea. At the headquarters of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, or KCTU, union leaders are busy. They're coordinating activities for strikes planned for the weekend.
민주노총 총파업 123 윤석열 내란 사태, 저희들은 그렇게 명명하고 있습니다.
Even before the events of the 3rd of December, transport, education and public sector workers were already on the picket lines, with strikes planned since late November.
기본적으로 임금 인상 요구와 그리고 가장 중요한 것은 인력 충원입니다. 계속 산업이 발전하고 그리고 산업의 규모가 커지고 있는데 인력은 오히려 줄이고 있고 더구나 그것을 비정규직으로 외주 용역화를 하고 있는 게 지금의 정부의 노동 방침입니다. 그것에 맞서서 그것을 처리할 것과 충분한 인력 충원을 요구하는 그런 요구를 하는 파업을 함께 진행하고 있는 것입니다.
But now, the striking workers have a new goal.
퇴진이 안 될 경우에, 탄핵이 안 될 경우에 다음 주에 전면적인 총파업을 선언하고 있습니다.
President Yoon's approval had sunk to a record low of just 17% in November. To understand the president's unpopularity is to go back to early 2022. Then President Moon Jae-in was approaching the end of his term. At the time, his Democratic Party was mired in scandal.
The Democratic Party of South Korea, they kind of imploded. We saw Park Won-soon take his own life after allegations of sexual harassment were made against him, and that meant that no investigations took place. We saw the Justice Minister Cho Guk. He faced his own investigations with his daughter, and then Moon Jae-in's number 2 was sent to prison for sexual assault. And so the Democratic Party, they faced great trouble, most of which was self-inflicted.
Seeking to succeed President Moon was Lee Jae-myung from the Democratic Party. Facing him was former prosecutor Yoon Suk-yeol, who ran on the ticket of the People's Power Party.
Many people told me in the presidential election that this was the choice of two evils. They didn't want to vote for Lee Jae-myung, they didn't want to vote for Yoon Suk-yeol, but they had to vote for somebody.
The presidential race went down to the wire. In the end, Yoon won by the slimmest of margins.
윤 대통령은 사실은 대통령 될 때부터도 강력한 지지 기반이 있었던 분은 아니고 범죄 피의자인 이재명 대표가 대통령 되는 거는 막아야 된다. 이런 것 때문에 됐고요. 그런데 그래서 0.73%라고 하는 그 근소한 차이로 됐는데
He took some gambles that ended up helping him just barely cross the line to win the election. And those gambles were first playing an anti-feminist card, and Yoon embraced that in order to get a certain demographic of votes. He also played up an anti-China sentiment that had kind of spiked at that moment as well. And those were the kind of things that kind of swept him just across the line to win the presidential election.
And with his hard-nosed leadership style, the new president's approval rating did not stay above water for long.
Yoon himself is what Margaret Thatcher has called a conviction politician, not a consensus politician, and he has a rather combative style. You know, career politicians usually compromise or try to find consensus, but President Yoon was not that mold of a person, so he was not very much willing to compromise.
President Yoon's unyielding style would see him face off against the unions early on in his term.
윤석열 대통령이 2022년 취임하면서 가장 먼저 했었던 것 중에 하나는 노동조합 파괴, 노동 탄압이었습니다. 화물연대 노동자들의 파업에 대해서 직권 복귀 명령을 내리면서 탄압을 했습니다. 건설 노동자들에 대해서 건폭, 즉 건설의 폭력 집단이라고 이야기하면서 건설 노동조합에 대해서 대대적인 탄압을 벌여서 1000명이 넘는 사람이 소환되고 수십 명이 구속되는 그런 사건이 있었습니다.
One construction union leader, Yang Udong, self-immolated in protest.
윤석열 정부가 퇴진되지 않고서는 우리의 삶과 우리 국민의 삶이 전혀 변하지 않습니다.
And in the days leading up to the martial law decree, South Korea was mired in the longest strike in its history. Doctors had been staging walkouts since February. It began as junior doctors protested the government's plans to expand intake of medical students by about 2,000 a year. The doctors feared this would suppress wages. The average annual income for a South Korean doctor is around $220,000, the highest among OECD countries. The doctors were also unhappy with their long working hours and poor conditions.
일반적인 근로자의 경우는 40시간으로 되어 있고 52시간까지 연장 근무가 가능하도록 되어 있는 반면에 의사들은 원칙적으로 80시간 그리고 그 교육에 필요한 경우는 88시간까지 근무를 하도록 되어 있는데 실상은 이것도 제대로 지켜지지 않고요. 거기다가 여기다 최저시급을 적용하기 때문에 거의 이제 일반적으로 생각하는 뭐 편의점 알바나 이런 것들보다도 시급이 더 낮은 정도 상태로 일을 약 4년에서 5년을 해야 되는 그 문제가 한 가지 있고요.
In response, the Yoon administration ordered the doctors to return to work, threatening to suspend the licenses of striking doctors. But the government had to walk back these demands when strikes persisted. In declaring martial law, one of President Yoon's pronouncements was for doctors to return to work.
I think we can see some of the protests as a symptom of the underlying dissatisfaction with a lack of vision and leadership from the administration. For example, if we take the doctors' protest, this series of events was, I think, quite frustrating to much of the Korean public. I think there is a feeling that the issue could have been resolved if there had been another approach from the leadership.
Because of these and other issues, the president would be rebuked by the public at the ballot box. In the legislative elections in April, the main opposition Democratic Party won 171 out of 300 seats, while the president's People's Power Party and its ally held just 108.
I think very few people were surprised that the opposition ended up in a majority, given the sense that the Yoon government was not leading to a vision for how we're going to address the major issues that we face in society today. Given that the National Assembly is now controlled by the opposition Democratic Party and its allies, it is difficult for the executive, for the president's office, to pass legislation.
Now that the opposition party has the majority, it can basically legislate on its own, and it can fast-track legislation as well.
On the 1st of December, 2 days before martial law was declared, the opposition-controlled National Assembly pushed through a reduced budget bill, despite the ruling party's protests. This will cut the government's budget by over 4 trillion won. That's around $2.8 billion for 2025.
사실은 저도 국회라는 현장에 있어 보면은 여야가 합의해서 처리해야 될 그 법률안들이 그냥 자기들의 다수당의 힘으로 밀어붙이는 경우가 많이 있었거든요. 그 다음에 지금의 예산 시즌입니다만은 정부에서 올린 예산안을 일방적으로도 삭감시키는 그런 의회에서의 어떤 독주.
지금은 한국 정치의 가장 큰 문제가 대통령과 국회 권력이 서로 비토크라시로 대통령이 제출하는 건 국회가 다 비토하고 국회가 통과시킨 법안이나 이거는 대통령이 다 거부권 행사하는 이런 식으로 지금 왔기 때문에 사실은 지금 행정 권력만 마비되어 있는 게 아니라 국회가 하고 있는 국회 고유 권한도 정부에 있으면 다 막히고 있는 상황이죠.
And so, on the fateful night of December 3rd, as President Yoon imposed martial law, he decried anti-state forces. Some understood him to mean the opposition parties.
아니 계엄이 무슨 애들 장난도 아니고 대통령의 기분에 따라서 선포하고 싶으면 하는 거고 그런 겁니까?
We are elected by people. So that means even if we are against his policies, he cannot treat us like an anti-state. His worldview is black and white, who's enemy, who's our friend, so black and white. So he thinks if we don't follow him, we are, his enemy.
President Yoon is saying that the opposition party in South Korea are equivalent to anti-state forces, to almost suggest that it might be treasonous. To position them in such a way is behavior that we might expect to see in North Korea rather than South Korea.
And even as President Yoon's popularity plunged to all-time lows, those around him faced increased scrutiny. Winter in Seoul is frigid. Yet, in the aftermath of the martial law debacle, South Koreans have gathered every day to call for the president's removal.
계엄령 정말 어이없는 사태라고 생각하고요. 빨리 탄핵하고 이상한 정치를 안 했으면 좋겠습니다.
직무가 당장 정치가 되어야 되고 그다음에 탄핵되는 게 지금 상황에서 가장 합리적이고 적정한 조치를 정하기 때문에 나왔습니다.
현재 2024년도에 제 계엄이 발령됐지 않습니까? 대한민국은 45년 만에 계엄이 발령된 거예요. 이건 현재 상황에 있을 수 없는 일이고 대한민국 현대사회의 세계 경제 10위 대국으로서 이건 있을 수 없는 일이고 이런 놈들은 반드시 처단을 해야 됩니다.
As the protesters continued into the night, elsewhere in the city of Namyangju, 28-year-old Naim Jae is picking up some groceries before work.
저는 이제 대리운전 일 그리고 탁송일을 겸해서 하고 있고요. 보통 오후 한 6시, 7시 정도에 나가서 아침 한 7시, 8시 정도에 들어오는 편입니다. 보통은 이제 제가 한 200에서 300 사이로 한 달 수입 잡고 있고요. 그리고 때에 따라서는 이제 제가 대리를 본업으로 하지만은 이제 부업으로 이제 중고 거래라던가 아니면은 뭐 박람회 이런 스태프 같은 일도 또 겸해서 하고 있습니다. 제가 수익에 비해서 일단 지출이 너무 많고요.
Like most countries, South Korea has grappled with a cost of living crisis as inflation ballooned after the pandemic. A Bank of Korea study earlier this year showed that on average, groceries cost 55% more than in other developed economies. More than 1 in 5 young Koreans are in debt, exceeding 3 times their annual income.
가계부 쓴 거는 3년 전부터였고요. 제가 한 교육을 받았었어요. 그때 청년 영테크 관련된 정책이었는데 그때 교육을 받았을 때 제가 생각하지 못한 불필요한 지출을 최대한 줄이고 그리고 재테크 제가 가지고 있는 금액을 얼마나 최대한 불릴 수 있을까 그런 고민들을 하다 보니까 써야겠다고 마음먹었습니다. 비단 저뿐만 아니라 주변 사람들하고 이제 만났을 때 물어보면은 일단 기본적으로 취업이 안 되는 경우도 많고요.
In multiple opinion surveys, the difficult economic conditions top the reasons for President Yoon's low approval.
현 정부를 지지하지 않거나 반대하는 이유는 여러 가지입니다. 사람마다 다르다는 뜻입니다. 그래서 가장 저변에 있는 건 자신들이 인식하지 못하더라도 경제적 상황이 나빠지면 지지율은 어디나 떨어지게 돼 있지 않겠습니까? 저는 제 개인적인 생각인데 뭘 한 게 없는 것 같아요. 안 할 건 하고 할 건 안 한 것 같은 느낌을 줍니다.
The cost of everything in South Korea has risen, whether it's taxis, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's bread and milk in the supermarkets. And one of the harder things is house prices. To get a place in Seoul is so dreadfully difficult.
I think many people find that really daunting and hard to have a lot of hope. And again, they're expecting that leaders are going to have a plan for how they are going to address these profound, difficult issues.
전 최대한 버텨보자라는 생각을 하고 있거든요. 지금으로서는. 근데 지금 청년들 시각으로 봤을 때는 더 나아질 수 없다는 그런 생각밖에 들 수가 없죠.
Then, amidst this feeling of economic malaise and pessimism, a luxury handbag would sink the president's approval further. Earlier this year, it came to light that a pastor had gifted a $2,000 Dior handbag to the First Lady, Kim Gon-hee. The media speculated that the bag was given in exchange for political favors. Though the prosecutor's office cleared her of wrongdoing, the First Lady was excoriated in the press and online. When the president's approval tanked this November, the scandals surrounding his wife were given as the top reason.
Some of the comments that are directed towards the current First Lady I find very distasteful, and it might seem like I'm downplaying this crime, but it feels like the level of attacks against this, I don't quite understand them. Maybe they're justified, maybe something will come out and I will have to eat humble pie on this, and I will willingly do it. But I find a lot of the attacks against family members, against First Ladies, whatever side they come from, I don't find them pleasant, and I don't find them tasteful.
Then, in mid-November, the opposition would pass a bill to investigate the First Lady for stock manipulation. There were talks that the probe could extend to the president, with plans to impeach him. These were the circumstances surrounding Yoon's presidency in the days leading up to his martial law decree.
When President Yoon declared martial law, I cannot say what his motivation would be. What we can say is that he felt increasingly pressured, and there were increasing questions from the National Assembly, from other parts of society. And so it is difficult to think that that background, that immediate background, is disconnected from this move.
대통령이 밝힌 바로는 야당이 국정을 마비시키는 조치들을 계속했기 때문에 충격파를 주기 위해서 한 거 아니냐 그런 얘기들이 있습니다만 충격파를 주기 위해서 꺼낸 카드가 비상계엄이라고 하는 데는 동의할 사람이 아무도 없고요. 최근에 궁지에 몰린 김건희 여사 특검법을 막기 위한 조치 아니냐 그런 얘기를 했는데 저는 그것도 이해가 잘 안 갑니다. 그거를 했다는 거는 제가 납득이 좀 어려워서 다른 분들은 어떻게 얘기하는지 모르겠지만 저는 동기에 대해서 잘 모르겠습니다.
본인과 부인을 위해서 그리고 계엄을 선포함으로 인해서 대통령이 아니라 왕이 되고 싶었던 것 같아요.
It's the morning of the 7th. The leaders of the various unions have gathered to coordinate their protest activities for the day. But at 10 a.m., their meeting was interrupted by a special broadcast. President Yoon apologizing for his martial law order.
저는 이번 계엄 선포와 관련하여 법적, 정치적 책임 문제를 회피하지 않겠습니다.
The political hammer was poised over President Yoon. The opposition had put forward an impeachment motion. In a few hours, members of parliament would vote on it.
오늘은 국회에서 역사적인 날인 것 같습니다. 윤석열 대통령 탄핵 투표가 있는 날입니다. 탄핵 이후에 우리의 투쟁 방향 또는 탄핵이 안 됐을 때 우리의 투쟁 방향 어떻게 할 것인가.
Heading into the vote, the ruling party had said it would block impeachment. Perhaps what this whole episode revealed is how divisive South Korean politics had become.
I always worry about our political culture, very divisive, exactly into two. And the party system also reflected.
If you talk to a friend who is progressive, he or she would see somebody who votes for a conservative candidate as an evil or authoritarian. And if you talk to a conservative-leaning person, he or she would say that people who vote for a progressive candidate as basically a sympathizer.
Tommy Douglas, the Canadian politician, had a wonderful allegory about a country called Mouseland. It's where the mice continually elect cats, and they elect a white one for 5 years and don't like you, and then they elect a black one, and then they go back to a white one. Yes, it's become toxic between the main two, and how do we change that? But otherwise, I believe that we'll just go back to the Democratic Party for 10 years, and then we'll go back to the Conservative Party for 10 years. But while the two main ruling parties fight in South Korea, they enrich themselves and they make the lives of the people harder.
As the two main parties tussle over how to resolve the martial law issue, what impact will it ultimately have on South Korea? The evening of 7th December, the impeachment vote has failed. A two-thirds majority, or 200 out of 300 votes, was needed for the motion to prevail. The opposition held just 192 seats, which meant they needed at least 8 lawmakers from the ruling People's Power Party to cross the aisle. In the end, only 3 PPP representatives voted. The rest boycotted the proceedings.
당의 대표나 저나 대통령이 좀 조기에 퇴진하는 것이 탄핵보다는 좀 더 효율적이고 그리고 갈등을 좀 해소시킬 수 있지 않을까 이런 생각을 했거든요.
In South Korea, if impeachment passes, the case then goes to the Constitutional Court.
또 변수에 의해서 또 기각이 된다면 사회적 혼란은 훨씬 더 많아진다 해서 탄핵은 좀 불확실성이 좀 퇴진보다는 더 높지 않을까 그렇게 판단을 했습니다.
So, with the failure of the impeachment vote on the 7th, Yoon Suk-yeol remained as president, at least for now.
If we have a situation where Yoon continues as president, then things could be very difficult. We can imagine that there will be a lot of difficulty in running the country, in having the trust of the various institutions, given the measure that was taken that is so far out of the realm of the everyday.
그렇게 함으로써 조기에 대통령 선거를 치르자 이렇게 얘기할 때 기본 전제는 뭐냐? 윤석열 대통령도 임기를 채울 수는 없지만 그건 동의한다. 하지만 이재명 대표와 사법 리스크가 있는데 이재명 대표도 대통령 돼서는 안 된다.
Lee Jae-myung faces charges of corruption and violating election law.
그러니까 그 문제를 지금 재판 중에 있으니까 그 문제를 다 해결한 뒤에 페어하게 대통령 선거를 다시 치르자 이런 주장이 있을 것 같고요.
As the political impasse continues, uncertainty could cloud the economy. In the 3 days after the martial law fiasco, South Korea's main stock index lost about $40 billion in value. It has since rebounded.
This incident has affected the South Korean economy in the short term, but I think once the situation stabilizes, which I think will happen, they will come back.
저는 한국 경제의 어떤 펀더먼탈이라든가 경쟁력이 한국 산업의 경쟁력이 뭐 괜찮아서 극복하겠지만 이 기간이 길어질수록 경제적 어려움은 지금보다 더 악화될 수 있어서 매우 걱정스럽습니다.
Then there is also the matter of South Korea's foreign policy positions, the purview of the executive branch.
도움이 되면 되지 도움이 되지 않지는 않았습니다. 그러니까 윤 대통령의 지지율이 대체로 낮았지만 긍정적으로 평가하는 사람들의 이유를 물어보면 첫 번째가 외교안보입니다. 외교안보는 잘하지 않냐.
The previous president, Moon Jae-in, pursued rapprochement with North Korea while distancing from Japan. Yoon Suk-yeol, however, did the opposite.
President Yoon saw it as imperative to fix relations with Japan to deter North Korea. And Korea-Japan relations are always a politically sensitive topic, and President Yoon himself knew that improvement of relations with Japan would definitely cost him politically. But I think he just soldiered on anyway because he saw it as an important element of improving deterrence vis-a-vis North Korea and in trilateral cooperation as well.
Many people in the international community support President Yoon for doing that. They believe that Japan is a democratic capitalist society that gives its citizens freedom and that North Korea is something that restricts freedoms to its citizens. And so by being friendly with Japan and being harsh on North Korea, that's the international position.
전통적으로 한국인들이 일본에 대한 그 태도가 젊은 세대일수록 조금씩 개선되어 왔고 오히려 20, 30대 젊은 사람들은 중국과 북한에 대해서 매우 부정적이고 미국과 일본에 대해서 더 우호적이기 때문에
If the constitutional crisis were to drag, South Korea's foreign policy direction would be rudderless.
So the future of the executive branch is pretty much up in the air. And internationally, this may have some significant consequences. So obviously, North Korea is one. And relatedly, his relationship with Japan was quite different from the Moon administration. And finally, in that context, how to deal with China will differ markedly depending on who occupies the executive branch.
Though Yoon escaped impeachment on the 7th, the walls closed in on him. His defense minister, Kim Yong-hyun, resigned and was later arrested for his role in the martial law affair. In the days that followed, senior military leaders and cabinet members would be investigated on insurrection charges. As the probe expanded to the president, police attempted to raid his office. Nonetheless, Yoon remained defiant.
지금껏 국정 마비와 국헌 문란을 주도한 세력과 범죄자 집단이 국정을 장악하고 대한민국의 미래를 위협하는 일만큼은 어떤 일이 있어도 막아야 합니다.
But by the 14th of December, the saga reached a denouement. A second impeachment motion was tabled. This time, enough People's Power Party members broke ranks.
대통령 윤석열 탄핵 소추안은 총 투표수 300표 중 가 204표, 부 85표, 기권 3표, 무효 8표로서 가결되었음을 선포합니다.
PPP's Cho Kyung-tae had indicated prior that he would vote to impeach.
제일 좋은 방식은 저는 조기 퇴진의 방식이라고 봤는데 대통령이 저는 거부했다. 그래서 탄핵을 통해서라도 저는 직무 정리를 시키는 것이 올바르겠다 하는 그런 판단하에 탄핵에 참여하게 됐습니다.
Yoon Suk-yeol was suspended from office, with the Prime Minister becoming acting president. The Constitutional Court will now decide if impeachment stands, a ruling which could take 6 months. An early election is likely to be called then. And as investigations continued, it became clear how close South Korea was to the brink. On the night of December 3rd, the troops on the ground had orders to stop lawmakers from convening, which would have prevented the vote to lift martial law.
저는 사실 1, 2분 간격으로 전화를 받았기 때문에 계속 얘기를 했고 어느 정도 시간이 경과했을 때 저한테도 야 국회의원들 끌어내는데 가능하겠냐 이렇게 물어봤었습니다.
총을 들고 무장한 군인들이 국회에 들어와서 국회의원들의 의사결정 행위를 방해하는 건 불법이고요.
They did actually enter the National Assembly, but in general, they were not willing to harm civilians, and I'm glad that nobody was actually hurt or killed.
The martial law order, which is now being described as an attempted insurrection, failed in part because of how poorly planned it was.
In the days just following the declaration of martial law, there were hearings involving key figures in the military, including the person who was appointed head of the martial law command. And according to his testimony, he had no prior knowledge that martial law was going to be declared.
They have like this, walkie-talkie they have. I heard two different voices. One voice is block them, block him or block them. So one voice is let them get in. So it's totally opposite. It's confusing. It's different orders from different people.
And perhaps the final bulwark for democracy were the Korean people themselves, who showed up to defy the martial law order and who continued to protest till the impeachment vote succeeded.
건강한 시민들, 또 시민들에게 함부로 무력을 행사하지 않으려고 애쓴 군인들.
It's been 45 years since the martial law that I experienced when I was high school, but it's totally different now, and people's level of democracy is mature. That's why he failed. President failed.
민주주의를 역행시키는 것에 맞서 싸우는 것을 두려움을 갖지 않는다. 우리가 그 80년대 투쟁할 때도 분명하게 그땐 비교할 수 없을 정도의 살벌할 때인데도 두렵지 않아서 싸운 게 아니라 두려움 없이 얻는 건 가치가 없다고 생각해서 싸웠기 때문에.
South Korean politics is messy. South Korean politics is loud and it's boisterous and it's rambunctious, and it's all the better for it. I think the most important thing is the South Korean people are voicing their opinions. They're not afraid to say what they believe. They're not afraid to stand up to soldiers when they believe that they are in the correct position. In South Korea, they have great freedom here. And I hope that freedom continues.